What's good, YouTube? We got a video for my dog, Kirai. That time Ultron went ban for ban with the Avengers. We've been watching Kirai for a long time. I'm loving to see the growth. I'm loving to see, my boy get where he's getting. And as always, prefer a like. You know what I'm saying? Look, I only gotta watch, and I already know it's gonna be peak. Favorite recap YouTuber. Like he getting what he deserves, man. Turn that bell if you want to see more videos like these. And yeah, man. Without further ado, it's the main man Sly. Once again, slide into your timeline. Today we got the time Ultron went ban for ban with the Avengers. Go.
Yo, peep game. Right out the gate, it starts with the Avengers abusing Hydra, who have not figured out that
This was tough. I had to let go of Avengers again.
The worst universe to be a villain in. This is not the damn Justice League. They call the Avengers because they only show up to settle the score, which is the only way to describe the ass whooping that they are putting on this whole platoon. They got Thor swinging in to 1v12 without the hammer, ragdolling them like they're in the Source engine, sending an alley-oop to Cap, who drags him across the ground and tosses bro to the side like a damn toddler. Immediately.
Hold on, Cap. See, people don't be peeping how brutal this is in the movies, bro.
Alley-oop to Cap, who drags him across the ground and tosses.
Probably for Aura's sake. Don't cranium to the tree. That boy's probably dead, bro. He threw him hard enough to where he was flying faster than the motorcycle that is already moving at motorcycle level speeds. So let's say over 20-30 mile per hour throw into that tree, just straight noggin.
Side like a damn toddler. Immediately combos that into a couple no scope shield bounces and use some unsuspecting victim as a fucking booster round. The minute the leader of the Hydra base sees that shit happening outside of his window, he surrenders.
On, bro.
No surrender!
I'm going to surrender.
But neglected to mention that to his own soldiers. So they're genuinely out there getting slaughtered for absolutely nothing. And there's no way they didn't murder at least a dozen of these niggas. They sent an enraged Hulk out there. And the only way to calm him.
Not only did the Avengers low-key be brutalizing people, bro, them be brutalizing property.
Him down in this movie is the Pedro Pascal method.
I know what kind of man you are.
Now, the reason they got this federal raid is because they were hiding Loki's scepter, which Tony goes to personally confiscate, but gets his brain tickled from the back by Wanda, causing him to see an illusion of his whole team squad wipe. Saw a vision of his own mans laying dead on the ground, resurrect, just to tell him it was his fucking fault. And Tony's really sitting there thinking, shit, that's too petty not to be true. Like, that would be some crazy petty shit. Due to this Hall of Fame psychological guilt trip, he decides not to destroy the scepter. Seeing how much raw power this shit stores, he figures he can use it to finish one of his pet projects, spending day and night giving form to the most sinister Marvel villain to ever do it, Grok AI.
To be honest, I don't want to see this BS.
And immediately,
to be fair, if bro would have just destroyed it, bro, Thanos would have had to use some crazy shit to get it back. But it is an Infinity Stone, so there's no way of knowing like how destroying it would have been possible. So they would have had to do something crazy. Knowing the future, we know like space wouldn't work because Thanos is coming from space. So the tech would have been like seal it somewhere, like at a time stone was hitting in stars. When Doctor Strange did that one thing, like finding a way to seal it with like magic and very complex tech or something, or at the very least like finding a way to safely like actually dispose of it.
Upon getting consciousness, he's on demon timing. All he did was have to scroll on Twitter and see one Facebook Live and bro turned evil. Jarvis told him he's a peacekeeping program, but when Gang finds the Pokemon section of DeviantArt, it's cooked. 60 seconds into consciousness and he's already feeling like crypto. But his first body happens to not be a human at all, as he snubs Jarvis for simply being in the same vicinity as his spawn point. Genuinely a tragic moment for the hood. They could have put Hawkeye in the grave and I would be far less upset. It's like the equivalent of shooting the dog in the movie. You're almost ensuring that a nigga has to get his lick back. That's what the whole John Wick series is about. After violating Jarvis, he sends one of the Stark bots down to the party, where Tony and the team happen to be having a pickle measuring contest via trying to pick up Thor's hammer, when they get interrupted by Ultron Beta dropping bars on these niggas like a Greek philosopher.
You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. How is humanity saved if it's not allowed to evolve?
See? Saved. But then he throws an evolved. He wants to fix the world.
Look at Tony over here trying to pretend like he don't know what the fuck going on.
He said that's kind of tough.
A picture-perfect pull-up. Without hesitation, sends a beam at Rhodey's chest, sending him tumbling out this window, just to let Zoro know there's another minority hunter in town. But of course, the Earth's mightiest heroes don't let a couple clinkers get the best of them, proving once again how Steve Rogers can combo anything in existence. But even with the destruction of every Ultron bot in the house, they still
he still exists.
It's like the program present, as he escapes through the internet and begins production of thousands of Tesla bots, slapping together a god right next to the Cybertrucks. And as the team sit in a circle and discuss the next movement, Thor violates by gripping Tony off the marble floor. He nags him about the dangerous and unethical nature of the experiment, but Tony argues you can't truly make a Grok AI without just a little bit of Mecha Hitler. Unfortunately, that little bit is all you
That boy said can't make an egg without cracking a couple omelets or something like that.
Which brings him all the way to Mother Russia to recruit the Maximoff siblings. And when he finally gives us an Ultron face reveal, turns out this nigga has maxed out his 2K height stat at a whopping 8 feet even. That is damn near an entire foot taller than Shaq. Bro might as well be a Sentinel. Shock is not the right reaction. You should have that mutant fear DNA. Yeah. Ultron manages to convince them to join by listening to this sob story about a missile getting shot directly at their faces. Turns out the Stark's name was on the side of it, so now they're trying to get it back in blood. My thing
bro.
Is that not fucking retarded? How are
you
upset about the manufacturer and not the nigga?
That's what I'm saying. Somebody else launched the missile. Made millions of missiles. That's how he made millions of dollars. Like, he did not personally attack y'all, bro.
Who shot the missile. That's like being upset at Smith & Wesson for making a gun that blows your whole family's top back. But either way, he got their much needed cooperation. Takes a trip down to the local prison to off the head Hydra, subtly revealing to the team that his next lick was going to be some vibranium. And Ultron slides in on the arms dealer like Michael. Had to give this guy nightmares for the rest of eternity. So he takes some vibranium and says it's worth billions. Big Tron gives out a little chuckle, tells him bands are never a problem. I don't even look at the price tag. Explaining to the goons how the bands simply bend to his will. But somewhere in that monologue, arms dealer hears a generational bar hit his eardrum.
Keep your friends rich and your enemies rich and wait to find out which is which.
And he's like, wait a minute, you're biting Tony's whole flow right now. You're not really him. You're a fraud. What is this, daddy's money? He should have just shut the fuck up and took the couple bills. Gang could have been on the Forbes list, but instead he's an amputee. My nigga's gonna look like an NPC from Night City,
stupid man,
Kano from Mortal Kombat for the rest of his life. All because he wants to look a gift horse in the mouth and shit. Get your face out of the.
That's also a very like billionaire type of thing to say. I keep my friends rich and my enemies rich, and then I find out which is which. Why do you have the capacity to not only keep one party rich but both parties rich? It's like, you get what I'm saying? It like imply you already had that type of bankroll, because the average person is trying to figure out how to get themselves rich. You feel me? That's such like a rich person thing to say, bro.
A horse, nigga. So the
Avengers valid though, just in time
not to save him. But hey, they're very upfront about their mission statement. So now they're in the factory doing this foreplay fight banter.
Nobody has to break anything.
Clearly, you've never made an omelet.
Bitch, I see what you did there.
Starts the round by gripping souls to initiate the fight, and while Tony is busy with a father-son fight, the rest of the Avengers are left to deal with Lick Silver. Not that Lick Silver, Lick with a capital L, because no amount of speed can fix the lack of brain cells. Bro goes into super speed to dodge a hammer and still grabs the hammer, which, okay, is understandable. But why the fuck don't you then have the reaction time to ungrip the hammer?
Let go,
was useful for it was Captain America to pad his stats. But unfortunately, Scarlet Witch has already gotten her hands on the minds of the entire team. Got all these niggas crossfaded with a mix of Tsukiyomi and a K-hole. And possibly the worst nigga you could use this tech on. Gets his own rage used against him as a cataclysmic weapon. I'd rather you drop a fucking nuke on me than
no bull. Make Hulk angry at me, especially if he was on good time. that was fire at
my
it.
Family 6 blocks down, and I see this entire scene.
Pull the top off, bro.
I'm recreating the ending of Mist. Shit will be a faithful adaptation. He is fully tweaked out like the Kensington crackheads when they switched to bath salts.
What the?
Destroying every piece of public property in the vicinity.
So
Tony unveils possibly the flyest suit he has in his
this was the leak.
Green cheek buster exclusively to spread the Hulk like jelly. But his go mode on sight, and the way he's chucking these cars, his shot meter might match his skin color. He's putting up a pretty good fight, but that Hulk buster ain't busting shit. Even the Tibetan night-night technique didn't work, as he gets tossed to an entire building and starts tearing the suit apart.
Yeah, this nigga knows comics, bro. He be seeing the videos we be seeing, bro. This nigga knows ball, bro. Nigga said Tibetan night technique.
Part faster than he could get replacements, turning this masterpiece of a suit into scrap metal. But eventually comes back to his senses and wakes up on a plane. And the entire team gets taken to Hawkeye's house for a sleepover, where they can braid each other's hair and talk about.
I've seen this too. It's like the stat padding of Hawkeye. Every time Hawkeye is not with the team, they lose. Every time he's with them, they win. But like he's like a six-man type player, like a role player or a bench player. Like if you had to get the entire Avengers. Oh, let me go down the list real quick so I can make sure I'm not tripping. You got the guard, you got your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. There's only 5 is on the court at a time. If you had to get your top 5 in Avengers, he's on the main roster. No particular order. You're gonna have Cap. You're gonna have Iron Man. You're gonna have Thor, Hulk, probably Vision. Vision's not here yet, so we're gonna go Cap as the point at the point. We got Iron Man at the guard. We got, because Wanda and them is here. The rest of the team right now is like little niggas, bruh. I said Wanda, Black Widow, but Hawkeye's like the 6th man on the team. Nobody's putting him top 5. So he's literally like a role player, and it seems like every time it's not on the squad, they take an L.
How to prevent the AI apocalypse. But
It's
Scarlet
actually
Witch has
ridiculous.
messed with their minds so much that the team is splitting apart at the seams. So while Thor goes to search for answers to the vision Wanda made him see, Cap and Iron Man are on the brink of a civil war, with Black Widow in the back trying her damn hardest to get her cheeks clapped. By the time they even come up with a theory of what ULTRON could be planning, he's already got his hands on the greatest 3D printer to ever 3D print, using the vibranium circuitry to create the perfect body for him to upload his mind into. And because Ultron's base consciousness is in this thing's organic brain, Wanda could easily see its dreams, revealing that his plan all along was to summon a planetary destruction, blowing up a chunk of the earth, creating an extinction level event. And Wanda is completely fucking horrified, because she couldn't imagine the huge scary sentient AI would want to destroy humanity. Like, I don't know how that shit came as a huge shocker. And I don't know if this is a really hot take, but...
And you mad at Stark because he made the bomb. Not mad at the person who shot the bomb, but he made Ultron. So if you're gonna be mad at Stark, you'd be mad at Ultron. He's the brother of the thing that blew the smithereens.
He's kind of spitting.
If we can't make peace and you still want to talk, then let's fight.
Now, as soon as Wanda figures out this fuckery, she mind controls the nurse to sabotage the experiment, causing him not only to blick the nurse, but every single employee in his damn lab. But Quicksilver gets them out of there before they can be next. The Avengers figure out where Ultron's conducting the project, but when they get there, he's already hitting the dash. Like evading arrest was his prime directive. Got Captain America hitting Jason Bourne studs to hunt him down. I don't know when Ultron got the Force, but he's been spamming it ever since, somehow leading to a scrap on top of the vehicle they were chasing. All 9 of the steroids flowing around in Steve Rogers' bloodstream, united just to lodge this shield in Ultron's chest. Broski has to be borrowing the American spirit of All Might, boxing General Grievous like this, really putting his hands on Captain America in the L train. But Quicksilver saves his life at the last second, although letting Ultron escape in the process. The only silver lining being that
stupid man,
they got the project that he was working on. Yet Tony, a man of science, who you entrusted to get Loki's scepter, used it to accidentally cause a clinker apocalypse that you're dealing with right now. And yet you're going to serve him more powerful and unrecreatable tech. All of these characters got the worst foresight imaginable. I forgot to also mention that Black Widow got kidnapped in the process of Ultron's escape, meaning that he now has a hostage to broker a deal with Tony for Vision. And while she's in his custody, he does everything in his power to pull off these aura farming techniques. I have never seen a nigga kill himself for aura in any other media. Now that Tony has technique, I have never seen a nigga in custody. He does everything in his power to pull off these aura farming.
You got Pete because she's afraid of him.
Technique. I have never seen a nigga kill himself.
That's nightmare fuel, brother.
For aura in any other media. Now that Tony has Vision, he's really like, fuck that bit, Black Widow.
That's Vision. I don't
really care. And instead plans on using him against Ultron. But Captain America and the Maximoff twins do not agree with his decision, so they start bickering about what they should do until that's ended swiftly by Quicksilver. But to everybody's surprise, Hawkeye was working with them the whole time, taking Quicksilver out of the fight, leading to a mini civil war, giving us one of the rare times that Mark Ruffalo displays at least a slight bit of aura.
I could choke the life out of you and never change a shade.
But just when things are...
This guy has too much aura. What are we talking about? There's this line. There's the... That's the thing, Cap. I'm always angry. There's that? Like, what?
About to get heavy, slight bit of aura.
I could choke the life out of you and never change a shade.
But just when things are about to get heavy, Thor charges in and hits the pod with a bolt of lightning, filling Vision's battery and birthing a goat into existence.
That's certainly a vision. Might not be the friendliest howdy, but
That's Vishan. But I can get his like their hesitation. Because the last time he made the supercomputer type thing, you got Ultron. But I mean logically, it kind of cancels out, so you know, and this is made to be the better body. So it's like, as long as you give it like the ability to develop its own emotions instead of being like logical, like that was the problem with Ultron, then you should be fine.
I reckon this robo-type fella's got his reason.
About a Martian Manhunter,
just
the
like
Avengers.
Ultron, he pops out immediately on Demon Time. Try to slime the first person he saw just like the OG. But one reality check gets him to rethink his whole decision, contemplate his life choices a little bit, and apologizes to Thor without hesitation, forming a cape. You know what I'm saying? He needed the drip. Look at him. He felt physically uncomfortable
go man
without
for
that
man.
shit on. Easily convinces the whole team with a think therefore I am speech that he's not Ultron. So with Earth's mightiest heroes all assembled, they go to handle their greatest villain yet, Big Tron. As bro has had a crazy growth spurt in the matter of a couple minutes. Added a couple inches of height and like 200 more pounds. And when they show up, Ultron releases bots on the town, forcing them to protect the civilians. So instead, all of the Avengers go to help the civilians, while Vision 1v1s Ultron. He manages to break Ultron's control over the bots, but it is far too late as he's already put his final plans into motion, using an anti-gravity machine to lift Sokovia so high that when it drops, it creates an impact crater similar to the dinosaur's extinction, all to gain the highest KD ratio of all time. Thor moves from beating Cheston on the front line to going to confront Ultron himself, where Big Tron was all too happy to give the God of Thunder 3 big booms, and that was like the most powerful member of the team aside from Hulk. Ultron's plan is completely derived from the fear of getting jumped, because he's almost gleeful while choking Thor out as he stalls for time to call an assist. Gave that boy the Team Rocket send-off. Just like Team Rocket, Ultron comes right back with an army of bots behind him to pull off this elite dog pile. You got hundreds of bots swarming the Avengers, and they're killing them in the worst, most gruesome ways possible. Crazy. You got Vision over here digging in bro's ribcage, while Captain America doing multiple flips for one final hit, all coming together at the end to shoot a unibeam at Ultron.
Stupid man.
But don't forget about the huge city that they're currently standing on, which Tony almost sacrifices himself to save. So instead of letting the town drop and create a massive impact crater, Thor uses all the godly strength in his body to destroy the entire island in one swing. Are you telling me bro couldn't be strength in his body to save? So instead of letting the town...
Why's he blasting into it? I guess he can't blast the ground because then it hit the people. But the city below is no longer there. So in theory, he should. Because then he'd have his propulsion countering with that propulsion. While what he's doing, which doesn't make sense to me, if you look at the physics behind it, he's making a closed system between him and the city and then blasting into that closed system. But that blast has kickback. So it is inherently pushing him away from the thing. So the only force that is truly going against it is whatever remaining force he has in his thrusters. Because when you go like these and push with your arms, you're creating a force against the wall. That's why I go back, because the wall's fighting back. So because he's in the air, the leverage for him isn't the ground like it is for me. It's his boots. So it would have been better for him to go like these and then push with the blaster and his feet. And he would have had a better chance of keeping that afloat. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. I know ball.
Drop and create a massive impact crater. Thor uses all the godly strength in his body to
Thor
destroy the
entire
island in one swing.
Also, isn't your vision has like density shifting? If he worked hard enough, is it not possible if Thor like supercharged him a little, he could phase the entire like island? So as it was going to drop, he would only have to phase it for a little bit to phase it all the way through, and then since everything on it would be phased, you get what I'm saying? The Avengers, as it goes through one side, the ones that can't be in space jump off, you know what I'm saying? And once they lose contact with it, they become tangible again, and then touch the ground, they're good. And then he goes into space, and he'd be there with like maybe him and Thor, because Thor would charge him. Both of them are capable of like either breathing in space or holding their breath in space, and then just come back after. It'd literally be like if a meteor was hitting the planet, you phase it through the planet, and then it continues its like trajectory. But like obviously now, because it just went through the Earth, it's gonna, you know, suffer a huge like shift because of the gravitation. Because it was moving with enough velocity, it has enough exit velocity to even if it were to bend slightly, it wouldn't like loop around our atmosphere.
Can you telling me bro couldn't decimate Ultron right where he's standing? After the battle, Vision goes to have a conversation with the all but defeated Ultron, and Brody tried to lunge at him like a crackhead, so he had to put him down. Now with this arduous battle behind them, knowing that they've earned everyone's respect for saving the world once again, everyone collectively thinks to themselves, I'm sure glad we never have to deal with Sokovia again. Also, Hulk takes his stealth jet after the battle to disconnect from the rest of society. While they adapt this arc terribly, they try to take this storyline from the Planet Hulk comic, so if you want to see a review on the animated movie, it's right there. Besides that,
and you be ending the videos too quick nowadays. But yeah, I'll for my dog Karai. Make sure y'all check him out. Make sure we get him to 40K. And yeah, man, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. You know what time to catch me next. See you then. Peace.